When the arid American West claims a life, it doesn't go to waste. The cleanup crew soars high above the ground, looking for new ways to cleanse the earth. This biological catharsis not only fills bird bellies and removes unsightly carcasses, it also returns precious nutrients to the ecosystem. But in the West, every calorie counts, and using even death to preserve life is necessary in life, death, and taxonomy. Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's 30 minutes of interesting animal info for you, the listener. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
And today we're talking about a big black buzzard that binges on bear beef. But more on that later. It's really hot in here.
Yeah, it is.
It's hotter than normal in here.
It's toasty.
Yeah. But you know what? We need to get into the theme, which is the American West, where it gets hot.
It's humid here, though. That's the problem.
I guess, yeah.
So
stuffy.
It doesn't really match up, but it's hot, so we'll take it.
Yeah.
You know. But we're talking about the California condor.
We sure are.
That's as west as it gets. You can't even get any more west in the world than that.
Than California?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, apparently. Because people in Japan will call people in California the West.
Which is true.
Yeah, well, it's always true.
Yeah, it's always true. It is true that they are west of them.
Yeah.
And it is true that they're east of them.
Exactly.
It's because
But you can get there faster if you go east.
True. So it's all about that map.
Yeah.
But it's the California condor.
That's why South Floridians aren't the South. We're so far south, we're north again.
Yeah, it's kind of this awful, awful reverse situation. But yeah, the California condor, or as we're going to call it. All right, let's see if I can do this. The cathetered cathartidae.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Gross. Okay.
The old bold Golden State mold. It's an old bird, lives for a long time.
True.
It scares away scavengers from its.
Did you say bold or bold?
Old bold Golden State mold. And Condoleezza Rice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's an old bold.
Yeah, I was going to do the bold thing, but I didn't think that would go over well. But let's talk about how this thing is classified. It's in the kingdom. You know it. You love it. You're in it. It's kingdom Animalia.
Mm-hmm.
Phylum is Chordata because it has a spine, a hollow one.
Yep.
The class is Aves. It's a bird. We've been doing a lot of birds.
Yeah.
We have bird brain recently.
Yeah, we got some more this season.
Do we still?
Well, we do. We definitely have some birds.
At least
we
one.
might not have as many birds as we currently have.
We might switch it up. That cassowary really threw us off. The order is Accipitriformes, which is the raptors, as we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The family is Cathartidae, the cathetered Cathartidae.
Why cathetered?
Because it pees on its legs.
Okay, well, it's not cathetered. Maybe it needs to be.
Yeah, it needs to be.
It's incontinent.
It has to do with pee. So
yes.
The genus is, let's do this, Gymnopchippus. Gymnopchippus.
Yeah, pretty much. I heard somebody say it today in a video.
It's Gymno, gymna, like gymnasium, and then Gypus, gypus, like gypsy. So Gymnopchippus.
Gymnopgypus?
Nope, gypsy.
Yeah, well, I'm in your chair, so I can say.
we have switched chairs. I'm computer man now. I am in control of the space bar. And then the species name is Californianus.
Mm-hmm. So what's the binomial name again?
Gymnopchippus californianus.
Yeah.
All right, that was the hard part.
Okay.
The rest of this is going to be easy.
All right.
So, where does this thing live, this California condor? Where could it possibly live? Who knows?
Japan.
We don't even know. It lives in California. Duh.
It does. Do you know where it used to live?
Lots of places.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the continental United States.
Really? Even here?
As far as like New York City.
As far as the east is from the west?
Yeah. So far did the condor fly.
Well, right now it lives in parts of semi-southern California, northern Arizona, small parts of Mexico near Tijuana, and Utah.
Mm-hmm.
That's because there ain't a lot of these guys.
Nope. Do you know how many?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I will wait.
We'll get there.
I will wait.
Let's talk about...
you.
Oh my gosh.
We're talking about Mumford earlier.
We were talking about the Lumineers earlier, and you said they were a sad, boring Mumford.
They are, yeah.
It's a sloppy Mumford.
They are, yeah.
That sounds delicious.
A lethargic Mumford.
I will go to Four Rivers and order a sloppy Mumford.
It does sound like a pile of grits and meat.
That is good. That's a bucket of good barbecue.
It is.
But let's talk about what the California condor looks like. The condor is essentially a giant vulture. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what a vulture looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, vultures are already pretty big.
It's a New World vulture.
They're all over the place. Yeah, there's vultures all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Africa. They're in
They're
Europe
like
and
monkeys.
Asia.
In that there are New World ones
Okay,
and Old World ones.
I was like, I don't think there are monkeys endemic to North America. I thought you were saying that they were everywhere.
Well, no, they're in the Americas.
Yeah.
Just the South ones.
All of those South Americas, southern ones. So the California condor is covered in jet black feathers from the base of its neck to its tail, except for patches of white under its wings. Its legs and feet are grayish, and it has an Elizabethan frill on its neck, like my dog does.
Yeah. I'm telling you, listeners, he thinks his dogs look like every animal.
No, I'm not. I don't think that the vulture looks like my dog,
He
but
looks like a little like a little condor.
I think that both of them have Elizabethan frills on their neck, like they're about to raise the roof on the Globe Theater with some mad prose and soliloquy.
Globe Theater. Okay.
I've been there.
I haven't.
I didn't go inside. I just looked at it from the outside, and I was like, "That's a lot of moss on the roof." So the condor's head is weird, wrinkly, and featherless, like the cassowary. It has baggy skin that's a brownish, pinkish color with occasional patches of bright yellow. It might also have a bright pink red patch on its throat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this. It's like a naked mole rat up there. It's weird. It's wrinkly. It's bald, and it's unnerving.
Every bird with no feathers is ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that.
Even owls.
Unless you're
that are like
bald vulture type situation.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they're bald.
Yeah.
But the condor can blush something fierce. Like
blush?
It can turn bright red, like in flush. It can pump blood to its head. Ugh. And some scientists think that it's a form of communication. It's like an emotional response.
I wonder if it's embarrassment. If that's the emotion.
So it's like, oh, I just peed on myself. Whoops.
Oh,
bright red.
I haven't had any water and I can't pee on myself, and that's something that condors look up to.
That's true, yeah.
And now I'm blushing.
and I'm the pack leader, and now I'm being deposed by someone who can pee on themselves.
I don't know if there's packs, but
there's flocks, murders. We should figure out we should totally have a segment where we talk about what the name of a group of something is.
That would be good. I don't think these guys group up as much unless there's just like a kill.
There's got to be
like
a word for a group of them.
Could be buzzards.
Yeah. They also have a white-tipped, sharp beak with beady black eyes and tiny holes in their heads for ears.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, they are the largest North American bird. But I'll let you torture us with the details.
Well, first of all, it's the second largest North American bird.
The albatross isn't North American, is it?
No. But the trumpeter swan is bigger in weight and wingspan.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah, I did read that today.
I feel like I read the opposite. I read that it's second to that.
But while you
Time to look it
confirm,
California condors have the largest wingspan of any North American bird, according to this Wikipedia page. They are surpassed in body length and weight only by the trumpeter swan and the introduced mute swan. The American white pelican and whooping crane also have longer bodies than the condor. So it doesn't have... Other birds have longer bodies and
bigger in other
are
ways.
Heavier, but this has the largest wingspan.
Gotcha. Anyway, speaking of size, that brings us to the listener's favorite part of the show, the part of the show where we convey the size and measurements of the animals.
We relatably convey the relatable size and relatable measurements in relatable terms.
Yes.
Relatably.
The most relatable terms. And it's also the part of the show that's introduced by you, the listener. We don't have any new Measure Up intros this week.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat and it was disappointment.
But instead of doing a new one, we're going to reach back into the archives and pull some of our favorites. One of our favorites, which is from Megan, who I forgot to say the last time we used it. This is from Megan from Ona Lit Class. She also has a podcast. It is not for the faint of age.
Faint of ears.
Yeah, same.
Faint of age.
Same.
I think we said.
I guess little kids have faint ears too. They're small. Is that allowed? Can I say that?
They're tough to see.
I guess. Yeah.
They're partially translucent.
Yes, it's not for kids, but it's funny and about literature.
Yeah.
And humorously irreverent.
And she likes Measure Up just as much as I do.
She loves Measure Up. Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
Measure up, you monster.
Nice work. Megan, you really showed how much you loved it.
I
really felt the warmth.
Sympathize. I think she sympathizes.
Yes. Well, she sympathizes with all the people that can't hear this beloved segment. Let's move into wingspan, the coveted slot as longest wingspan. We've just confirmed. It's 9 to 10 feet.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's not the longest wingspan in the world. That goes to the
in the America.
The wandering albatross with they're unconfirmed specimens with 17-foot wingspans.
Too big.
It is too big. It's just, they had to bring it down. The Ancient Mariner had to bring it down.
Let's go with 10 feet. How many condors go into the north to west length of California?
North to west?
Yeah. North to south. Sorry. Why did I write west?
It does like an L shape, so I don't know if you want to take it from the top, like to where it meets the ocean if you drew a straight line down.
North to south or south to north.
Either one's fine.
Length to length.
Now, is this how the condor flies, or is this if you took the, I don't know, whatever road goes through
I'm
there?
assuming it's like ground.
The 405, I think, goes.
No, it's not the length of the 405, because that would be longer. Because it's probably not.
Or if you drove along the 405 from Tijuana to whatever city is in Oregon, right on the other side of the border.
No, probably just like straight ground distance.
As the crow flies.
Well, no, because that's the crow flies over. Well, because we were talking about before how in aviation distances are different
because of the curvature of the earth.
Right. So not as the crow flies, unless the crow flies like above, like hovering over the ground.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, then good. Then this particular crow flies.
I'm still confused. I don't know. Either one wouldn't help me. I don't think that'll help me either.
Well, California raises more turkeys than any other state, and that's not even a political joke. That's not even a joke about bowling. I'm sure Californians are great at bowling, though.
I thought it was about their bowling. Although, getting a turkey in bowling is good. So if they get a lot of turkeys in California, that means they're good bowlers.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Turkeys is 3 strikes in a row.
Yeah, it's a hat trick.
It's the opposite of what you want in baseball.
Right. Which is an anti-hat trick. Which is a beanie trick. Why turkeys? Because they also have weird-looking faces like condors?
Yeah, sure. It's a bird. It's a California bird.
Okay.
California bird.
Is it the California bird? Is it the turkey?
I don't think so.
That'd be
I think the California
pretty
bird is a
embarrassing.
bear.
The California bird is the grizzly bear.
Yes. No, it's not.
I'm gonna say it's 1,000 miles. That's all I got. I mean, it's a little bit. It's about halfway up that western coast. So
Okay.
And this is 10 feet. If we were working with the metric system, this would be just a matter of zeros, but it's not. So we're going to have to do some extra math. So that means a little more than 500 of them, 510 of them-ish, go into a mile. And then we're just going to add 3 zeros to that.
500,000, final answer?
510,000.
Okay.
But that seems ridiculous. But yeah, I guess.
Okay.
It seems ridiculous that only 510,000 vultures laid end to end would be the entire length of California, but whatever, I'm going with it.
The answer is 443,000.
Oh, wow. It was not far off. It was probably off of my guess.
About 100 times more than are actually living on Earth. That's the length.
Oh, yeah.
It's 840 miles long.
Not 100 times more. 1,000 times more than are living on Earth.
Yeah, true. No, there's 400 living on Earth.
Yeah, and we're talking about 400,000.
You're right. Okay, so weight. 81 to 31 pounds. 31 pounds is a big flying bird.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a toddler weight.
Wait, you said 81 to 31 pounds?
18 to 31.
Okay, got it.
I did say 81.
You did say 81.
I can't do numbers right now. 18 to 31 pounds. Let's go with 31 pounds because that's the most interesting of the two numbers. How many condors go into the weight of a 10-foot saguaro cactus?
Is that one of those iconic cactuses?
It's a cactus of the West.
Cactopodalicious?
Here's a hint. The cactus stores water in spongy material to prepare for droughts, which cause the cactus to expand.
Is this a water-laden cactus?
I don't know.
What's the velocity of an unladen swallow?
This particular cactus is ready for a drought.
Okay. They're really tall. They can be like 20 feet high in some instances, I think. Full of water? It's got to weigh a lot.
It could.
It's got to weigh like... I'm going to say it weighs 3,000 pounds. And I'm going to say that the answer is 100.
3,000 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to sniff me off the scent, but I've got this. 100 condors.
So you're so these can be up to like 20 feet high. I said a 10-foot high one. And
you said a 10-foot high one?
Yes.
Oh. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Well, the answer is 29 condors.
Oh wow, that's a lot lighter than I thought it was.
So, these cactuses can be a ton fully grown, and you guessed 1,000 more pounds than a ton. But they're 900 pounds a foot. So 10 feet, or not 900.
What?
They're 90 pounds a foot. 900 pounds
Goodness,
would be 10 feet.
Numbers are not our strong suit.
Not today.
Can we move away from them?
Anyway, 29 condors go into the weight of a pretty heavy cactus that is a lot lighter by comparison to your assumptions.
I was assuming this 20-foot tall cactus that was full of water, and I was like, that's got to be super heavy.
No, it's just a 10-foot one. It's 90 pounds per foot.
Okay, that's whatever, lightweight, literally.
I still don't want a cactus to fall on me for so many reasons. Because it's sharp and heavy. That's all I got.
Hooray! We're done with slogging through the numbers.
I love the numbers.
No, you don't.
I mean, I do love the numbers.
Is that what you mean? All right. Let's go back to talking about the condor.
We've been talking about the condor.
No, we haven't. So since we've talked about this thing living in California, Arizona, Mexico, and Utah, this thing, the condor, Condorliza rice,
Heard of them?
loves arid climates with sparse shrubs as well as forests and oak savannas, which I didn't know what an oak savanna is, but it's that like really the rolling hills with like a couple trees on it, that bucolic American plains western countryside.
Okay.
And it looks really nice, and I want to go visit one day.
I think I had a bucolic when I was a baby.
This baby's bucolic. It's wearing overalls. Oh, goodness. All right, let's finish this off with some fast facts since we're running out of time. They only lay 1 egg per clutch, which is kind of unique for a bird.
It's a clutch egg.
Yeah, if you're the egg that gets hatched, it's clutch hatch. They can live for up to 60 years and reach sexual maturity at age 6. Both of those factors have partially led to the severe decline in population. That, and the fact that they eat carrion, which is dead animals. They're scavengers. And they can get lead poisoning by eating an animal that has been shot with a lead bullet. Also, they're, like I was mentioning earlier, they have featherless heads for a reason. That's because to eat, they stick their heads in the bodies of decaying animals.
Same.
You stick your whole head in the body?
I stick my face in the bodies.
No, you stick the body in your face. That's the way you eat.
That's fair.
But to avoid having rotting flesh like cling to their heads and possibly get horrible infections from it, they do not have feathers on their heads.
Right. Okay.
So they'll also sometimes feed their babies trash.
What is that, a commentary on their cooking?
I was gonna come up with some like pop culture reference or something like that, but I was like, nah, never mind. Like they feed their babies trash like the Lumineers.
Jeez. The Lumineers are so bucolic. We don't need to go after this folksy music.
If we feed it to a baby, you're gonna have a bucolic baby.
That's what happens.
Full circle.
Okay.
But so yeah, feeding your baby trash does not do much for its survival rate.
Trash in what sense? Like plastic?
Yeah, like stuff that they find.
Okay.
And that doesn't go down well. It's not easy to digest, even with their super digestive enzymes that allow them to digest like rotten flesh. In fact, here's another reason why their population declined. Some cattle ranchers would see condors eating like a dead calf and assume that the bird killed the calf, and then just go on a killing spree.
It's a big, scary bird.
Yeah, it's like there's a 10-foot bird over my 5-foot calf. Definitely killed it. But that's not the case. It probably died of something else, and the bird came and ate it. They often like will scare away like coyotes or other birds that have like owls and things like that have killed an animal, and then they'll just eat it. Although the exceptions were bears that don't care and golden eagles, which will attack them right back.
Yeah.
We've talked about the golden eagle before, which is another reason why the population declined of the California condor, because it doesn't stand a chance against the golden eagle.
Well, also the golden eagles predate their chicks.
Yeah. And they only have 1 per clutch.
Yeah.
So, and it takes them 6 years to reach sexual maturity so that they can have another 1. It takes a long time for this species to...
What?
So
they don't have a chick wait 6 years have another one.
No, for that chick.
Oh, for
to
the
grow
baby.
up and be sexually
Yes.
mature to have
Okay.
another one.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So because of all of these factors, the population dwindled to just 22 birds.
Yep.
And the government just captured all of them. The government's like, we could either let these guys go extinct, or we could just take them all. So they did. And on Easter Sunday,
you birds are under arrest for not making it out here.
yeah. So in 1987, on Easter Sunday, they captured the last one, and they, I guess, fostered their
Why
population.
were you working on Sunday?
Yeah, they were violating the Sabbath to save some boys. But now there are almost 450 in the wild and in captivity, with about half and half. I think
How
if
much?
I remember
450?
Yeah. But it went from 22 to 450 in the last 30-ish years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great.
Did you learn anything about like how they did it and stuff?
Nope. I saw a hand puppet that looked exactly like a vulture's head.
So they would like try not to like have any as little human interaction with them as possible, and then they would also have adult vulture mentors, like teaching younger ones how to be a vulture.
They get paid overtime.
Yeah, and they also train them not to go near power
Wires.
lines.
Yeah, that was another reason why they would. Yeah, that was another reason why they would die, is because they would run into power lines. Do you have anything else to say about that? The rehabilitation?
Nope.
So the last thing I have is that the Californian Native American tribe, the Wyatts, believed that the condor recreated mankind after Above Old Man, otherwise known as Gutatrigaquitl,
Okay.
wiped out the humans with a flood.
Oh.
So a completely separate flood story that, from what I can tell, came about independently of Gilgamesh and the Bible.
Yeah.
Seems like there may have been
Big old flood.
a big old flood.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple different flood narratives in history and different cultures.
But above Old Man, that's what the Wyatts call God. Above Old Man.
Okay.
Gutatrigaquitl.
Above Old Man. Okay.
All right,
Ready
that's all
for
I
the
got.
majors, the facts
Yes.
in this episode? The California condor isn't optimized to live in the modern American West.
Good.
See you next week, ladies and gentlemen.
End the podcast.
Like you were talking about, the birds have been on the decline since the 1800s and possibly even before that. There's a couple of overlap things that I'm just going to skip through the things you've already said, but they also, besides the like bullets, them eating bullet like fragments and then getting lead poisoning, they would also get poisoned because Western settlers would poison pest animals. Like, I think they would all like. There's a thing where I don't know if they did this in the American West, but it's a thing. Like if something's killing your cattle, poison your cattle, like a dead carcass of cattle, and then wait, or
a sick one.
cow, and then wait for something to come and eat it, and then it kills it. So they would do that, or they would poison pest animals, and then birds would come and eat the carcasses and get poisoned by the transitive property.
What a time to be alive
Yeah.
or dead
Yeah.
in taxonomy.
Yeah. Other scavengers, though, other vultures and like seagulls that scavenge faced the same threats as the California condor, but they didn't have as hard of a time continuing their species. And there's a reason for that. The California condor is what is called a biological anachronism. which essentially means it's an organism from a different time. So it's like there's a fruit, an American fruit, North American fruit, that's also a biological anachronism. And it's bitter, hard to digest, so animals don't eat it anymore. So the population of these fruit or this plant that produces this fruit is going down because animals aren't eating it and then depositing in seed in poops all over the place. But there, in the fossil record, there is a mastodon, and like mastodon poop with this seed in it. That like this, apparently this mastodon loved this fruit, so it went extinct. So now the fruit is suffering because it's adapted to
mastodons.
Right, another
Distribution
situation
method.
Yes. So the California condor is adapted to a different era in the Americas, but today their biggest strength has become their weakness. They're among the largest birds on the continent, but their wingspan helps them find food, right? It gives them an advantage in finding food. They can fly 55 miles per hour and up to 50,000 feet or 400 or 4,600 meters in the air.
Wow.
That's like half the height of a 747, the cruising altitude.
A 747 doesn't cruise at 100,000 feet.
30,000 feet.
Yeah, so it's more than the height of it. I said
half. The bird flies half the height of a 747, 15,000 feet.
I thought you said 50,000
No.
feet.
15,000.
I was like, that's bananas. That's like, how does it breathe?
No, 15,000 feet. They can travel 150 miles a day looking for food. Large wings means fewer flaps, right? Mm-hmm. You just glide over the...
That's my motto.
Yes.
Large wings, fewer flaps.
Their huge size, however, also means that they need a lot of nutrients to survive. Mm-hmm. They give me no nutrients.
Those eagle powers.
Birds that are rearing chicks also need even more food to feed themselves and their offspring. Mm-hmm. Today, condors prefer deers, horses, bears, cattle, and other large mammals, but they'll also eat like rodents and stuff. But like, you see you notice a mouse on the ground, and you're like thousands of feet in the air. Is it even worth going down?
Probably not.
You know, when you're looking for a deer.
Man, if they see a mouse from 15,000 feet.
I don't know. I feel like they deserve more.
Like NASA can't even see a mouse. They totally can.
So today, but in past ages, they had more larger options like the American bison, which used to roam the plains in huge numbers. And then mammoths, giant sloths, saber-toothed tigers, stuff like that.
So they're just out of large fauna.
They're the extinction of megafauna, which means big animals, and the rise of new hazards with humanity means that it's a lot harder for them to survive long enough to contribute to their population.
They should move to Alaska. Should just relocate them to Alaska because there's lots of large fauna there.
There are, but it's also very cold.
Just get over it.
But like you were talking,
knit tiny little like woolen hoods for their naked pink heads.
Little beanies.
Yeah.
But also conservation efforts like you were talking about have been pretty helpful. Luckily, when they're released into the wild, they can adapt and have chicks of their own. Mm-hmm. That's sometimes an issue with rehabilitated animals or like animals born in captivity. They're released and they don't know how to. If they do survive, they don't know how to like procreate. Yeah, so
they must have done something right.
It's a very involved method.
It was apparently the most expensive conservation project ever.
Interesting. It worked.
For now.
Yeah.
I mean, 450 is not a lot.
It is not a lot. That's about how many giraffes there were, right?
I don't remember.
Like,
but there are more like tigers and more Sumatran orangutans than that.
Yeah.
So, and those
Not
are
much more.
Those are pretty endangered.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all we got.
Nice.
Learn about the conservation. There's videos on YouTube. It's fun.
Fun.
It's fun.
That was the California condor. So for you out there in Podcastia, keep your head clean, soar to new heights, and only eat dead animals that have been cooked. Like the condor in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Like the government worked to conserve the American condor, you can work to conserve this podcast by spreading the word. Leave a review on your favorite podcast app and tell your friends. At the end of the day, your buds are more likely to listen to you than a 5-star review. Though we still appreciate those little stellar accolades. And as always, we need Measure Up intros. Thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
Welcome back to Life, Death. Because I'm sitting in your chair.
You could do it if you want to.
No.
Just blow everyone's mind.